Hey, here in Politicab.
Do you need a lift? Do you need a voice? Why don't you grab
Hell yeah, I love you, baby,
the
but
Politicab?
you're approved. You're approved.
I don't really hear her talk that much. I've heard Gary Johnson talk a lot, and I thought he could be a good option.
Donald Trump, you need to keep it pushing.
Donald Trump, he's a fraud.
He's a what?
He's a fraud.
And if you think the status quo is preferable to Donald Trump, then Hillary Clinton's the way to go.
It's amazing. They bash Obama about almost everything.
Russians hijacked our emails that say that we lied. How dare they?
And I love you. And if Michelle ever doesn't want you, here I am.
So, welcome to Politicab. What's your name?
Brian.
And Brian, we were talking a little bit ago about Donald Trump, and I understand that you're an ex-serviceman. You want to let us know where you served?
Yeah, I served in Afghanistan for 8 months.
Great. What branch?
I was in the Army.
In the Army. Thank you for your service first.
Thank you.
And I understand that you were injured and had some problems.
Yeah. I was September 5th, 2013.
Wow. You remember the day, huh?
Yep.
I don't suppose one will forget.
Nope.
So you were talking a minute ago about an episode with Donald Trump that upset you a little bit and got you to thinking about your own service. Could you describe what it was that bothered you?
Yeah, it was, it's public knowledge. He accepted a Purple Heart from a service veteran. And, I don't know what he's been through, but to get my Purple Heart, I was ambushed in Afghanistan. I fought for my life for 4 hours, and I don't know what he did to deserve that Purple Heart.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, his comments after, he could have held it back to the servicemen and thanked him for his service. And,
Sure, simple as that, right?
yeah,
So you think that would have been the right thing to do?
Oh, absolutely. And it's actually happened in history. If you look back in history, it's happened before. Guys have tried to give their awards to the presidents, and they've handed it back and said thank you for your service. And and I think that's parallel to everything he's done with his run for presidency is going off path of every other respectable running mate or president that we've had. So,
Well, some people say that that's exactly what they like about Donald Trump, that he's doing things differently. In this case, you feel that's inappropriate.
yeah, and again, it's everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I've sweat and bled for this country, and I just don't think he understands what it takes to sacrifice.
He doesn't understand.
No, honestly, my opinion is that he's feeding off he just needs to be in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm. So it's not about the country, it's about Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You're not alone in that sentiment. You are not
No,
alone in that sentiment.
and unfortunately, I'm not alone in the sentiment that people vote for him. I wish there's people pulling on that.
Now, if you had any recommendations to your brothers in arms about how to vote, what would you say?
Well, so obviously everybody knows the military is very Republican. I've always been Democrat, but every time I vote, I try to think of the best option. So I've never really voted with a party in mind. I've always tried to be
Try and be open-minded.
But to answer your question, it would be I couldn't trust him with the nuclear weapons codes, because we've put our life on the line, and as many people as we've seen died and killed, he could do that with one button.
Yep.
And the way he talks, it's just not it's not
Well, the same respect that he failed to show for that serviceman and understanding the tradition, that same respect that he failed to show in that situation,
Yeah.
maybe he's failing to show for something as critical as nuclear weapons.
And I don't know if you remember with the Gold Star family,
Yes.
how he treated that mother.
Yes.
You know, I wear this till the day I die for my friend who was killed. And I remember I had to, when he died, I was assigned to his case, and I was a court-martial officer, and you have to put everything that they own in a box and send home. And so maybe I judge it a little bit differently than Donald Trump would. However,
Sure.
you know, you're running for the country, and you're supposed to, you're representing the Gold Star families, the Mexican Americans, the Italian, every single piece of this country, every single person in this country. So to downplay a Gold Star family member, to downplay Mexican Americans, to downplay everything this country stands for. I mean, obviously, personally, it hurt me with the Gold Star family, and that's when I started paying attention. But to downplay everything this country stands for, I mean, what are you running for if you're going to downplay everything? You know, what are you running for? You must be running for yourself if you're going to downplay everything else.
So if you're not standing for anything,
You're standing for yourself.
and you're not standing for anything at all.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me a chance to express
Sure.
myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like I said, I mean, it is all down to respect. I'll never because say I hope he doesn't be president, but if he is, I mean, and I get called back, I'll serve my country again. You know.
Is there a chance? Where in Afghanistan did you serve?
I was in RC East. I was at 5 Airborne. It was probably a couple miles from the Pakistan border, but not. Yeah.
Sure.
Gates of Ghazni.
Sure.
I don't know.
Did you have any experiences with equipment, or did you feel like you had the stuff that you needed, where you needed it, when you needed it?
Yeah, actually, like when I was there, we did. We had we had Max Pros, but I've heard from veterans who had been in Iraq and Afghanistan before that who didn't.
Yeah.
So they had Humvees. Well, I didn't see one Humvee when I was deployed, but they used to talk about being in Iraq with putting sandbags over the bottom
To try and protect against
Yeah.
IEDs.
Yep. So we had Max Pros, and the holes are hollow.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously I got injured, but I felt, well, having said that, we had RPG cages.
Yeah.
So it was like magnets it was like 6 inches from the hull, so an RPG has a PE crystal in the end, and the magnet would set the RPG off.
So
It would pre-detonate it so that it's a jet that would that's what kills you.
right, it pushes it through, and then
Yep.
you're done.
So we had an issue with fixing the cages for a little bit, but that's the worst we had. I mean, from the horror stories I heard training, I mean, I couldn't really complain,
Mm-hmm. Do you feel? I'm going to ask a couple hard questions.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like your service is understood by the average bear now that you're back?
No, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, I did it because I wanted to do it. I don't really care.
Sure.
So, I mean, and that being said, maybe I just don't really worry about it. I didn't do it for anybody else.
That's a
There's
great-
no draft. There's no draft here.
Sure. Do you think there should be a draft?
No.
No. How about in wartime?
It depends what war it is.
So, this is for you. I will not accept your money. Okay?
No.
No, listen. Here's why. In the cab, if you go on camera, you are. I give anybody who goes on the cab $27. Get it? berniefare. No,
There you go.
and I post about this, and you are the beneficiary of the berniefare tonight.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So spend it on your girl. right?
Wait, what? Are you sure?
I'm quite sure.
Are you sure?
Okay.
It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Glad I
Yeah.
bumped into you.
Hey, thank you so much.
To anybody out there listening, That is why I do this.
Why don't you grab the Politicab?